Scaling your business as a spiritual entrepreneur. Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths, and it can be really difficult when you are first starting out as a spiritual entrepreneur, as a woo-preneur, and you're quite woo, because you feel like I can't possibly make any money, because you have these amazing gifts and talents that you want to share with the world, and you want to help as many people as possible, make this impact, change the world. But at the same time, you need to make money. And it's like, I feel guilty for making money. And for many, many years, I felt guilty for making money and guilty for charging. And I didn't know how to kind of balance the two between being spiritual and doing good in the world, and also being able to earn some money, be paid for what I'm worth and my value. And that is a real mindset issue. That's a money mindset issue. And, you know, maybe it might be the stories that you are told as a child, and some of those, you know, those beliefs and thinking around your family and your family's beliefs around money. You know, what did they, what stories did your parents have growing up? And how did those stories impact you? I was talking last night, and you know, my mum, for example, is a real saver, and she is very much like about saving money, and she prides herself on wearing out shoe leather, as she calls it, walking the length of town to save a bit of money. Whereas I'm not like that. I'll be like, yeah, that will do. I make a decision, and there we go, because I know that my time is money. And so I don't want to waste my time saving a couple of pounds when actually I could really make much more money doing something else. So it's how we value ourselves and how we value what our worth is. But those stories can seep in, and they can affect how we show up in business, how we show up in the way that we charge our worth. And so what's your worth? I'd love you to think, you know, what is your value? How much value are you giving to your clients? Because it's not just the hour of your time, it is what impact, what transformation it has on them. And certainly for me, I've really realized that, you know, I've spent hundreds of thousands on coaching. And sometimes I'll see these, you know, great business coaches or strategists, and I'll be spending a lot of money, you know, so, 5-6 figures on coaching. And then I'll work with a Reiki healer or some kind of therapist, and I might spend £60 on them. So like a massive difference. But actually the value that I've received from the healer, from that piece of energy work, has been much more transformational to me. And so it really got me thinking about the value that people put on energy work and therapists, and the value that you put on yourself. And so, you know, it is not just about like that hour of your time, but that transformation that your client is going to receive, the transformation, the way that they are going to show up, how it's going to impact them and change their life, their way of being. And if you are going to really transform their way of being, then it's like, well, actually, it's not just about an hour of your time. So start thinking bigger, start seeing it as though it's something that is much bigger than you, that can really transform so much of their business. But it takes that moment for you to think, am I capable of doing it? Can I make it work? And what I say to you is, start seeing your value, and then things can shift. And it might take you, it might be little baby steps, but keep going on that journey where you are recognizing your value and your worth. And then it comes to the piece of, okay, how can I stop trading time for money and get my time back so I can scale? Because at the end of the day, one of the best ways that you can scale as a spiritual entrepreneur is by having an audience. Because when you have an audience, you're more in demand, so you can charge higher rates. And also you might be able to scale what you do by selling courses, by selling digital products. So imagine if you had a sequence of meditations. Maybe they're morning meditations or wind down meditations at the end of the day, or on a particular theme. And if you were able to focus on niche areas rather than just saying, oh, I'm going to do a meditation, what about meditations for mothers who are feeding their babies? So early morning meditations for new parents so that they're calm, their baby is calm. And so suddenly that becomes a niche product. And it means that you open up to a very small, not a small audience, but a very targeted audience rather than trying to appeal to everyone. And it's much easier to market to that particular sector. And so then it becomes more desirable, because if you are speaking to one particular type of person where they're like, oh, I need that. I'm feeding my child in the mornings and I want to be calm and relaxed. Oh, I need that. Yeah, that's definitely worth however much you're going to charge. And so it becomes an irresistible offer. Now, if you compare that to meditations to get you through the day, and it doesn't have that same ring, doesn't have that same, oh, I need that desire. So you've got to think, how can I create a desire where this product just goes, oh, this is amazing and it's just perfect for me. And it may be you think, right, is it that it's meditations for office workers to, help manage anxiety or stress, and they're like quick meditations to do in the car. And maybe, so not while they're driving, but just while they're sitting, maybe it's, seeing things differently so that it fits with your audience and their needs and their pain points and their struggles. Because if you tap into a particular struggle, a particular problem, and you're solving the problem, then people want to buy from you. So it's really thinking about, rather than just like, oh, I'm going to create a product, it's what product can I create that solves a problem? And so finding that problem and then seeing a solution to that problem. And if you can do that for your clients, then it means you're solving their problems. You could do it on a one-to-one basis. And then in time, if you created that digital product, whether it's the meditations or a course, then you can scale that, because you can scale that through building an audience. Because if you suddenly had, let's say you had 1,000 people and you're selling that, then that becomes the start of you scaling. And if it's something that's really specific, really niche, then there's no reason why you can't look into Facebook ads or YouTube ads in order to scale further. Because what it's about is you make that initial investment, you start scaling and scaling, and then it means you can step back from the business. Yes, there might be some management of the business, but you are not having to be working, trading time for money, working 24/7. You get off the hamster wheel, you stop trading time for money, and then you can start thinking, right, I'm going to put my prices up. I'm going to be able to charge my worth. People will see my value. They'll see that, I'm in demand because of my audience. And then that can explode things, because you are charging, means you're doing less one-to-ones, but you're charging a higher rate for them as well. So, different ways for you to scale that spiritual entrepreneurship. And, it means that you get your time back. You get that time to be with your family or do the things you love. And when you are stepping into flow, when you are being the person that you're meant to be and you're in flow, energetically, everything opens up for you. The doors open up, the possibilities open up, but you have to be prepared to step into flow and create a new way of working. I hope you enjoyed this video. I share loads of tips and strategies about building your online business, and I'd love to connect with you more. I have an easy launch plan. Check out below, I'll share the link, and would love to see you again. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, bye, bye.